Welcome back to Brant's Best Bets. Dave, last week you went 2-4, but you were close to going 5-1. I mean, this is one of those weekends where it was a point here, a point there, and you lost the Ravens bet by a toe. There were so many close games. The Iowa game was razor tight. Go ahead.
Look, Brant, I refuse to be the guy that tells everyone about the huge parlay he almost hit. Okay, it didn't get it
That's
done.
true.
I'll take my lump, and it is what it is. And you had yourself a nice little week, though, right? Didn't you go four and four?
Yeah, I went 4-4, and I lost on that Ravens heartbreaker as well. Otherwise, it'd be in the other column. But you know what, Dave? It's a new week, and let's get right into them. Okay, so we got New Orleans, the Saints traveling down to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Cowboys are 6.5-point favorites. Who do you like in this one, Dave?
Well, Brant, Derek Carr looked like he's poised to be the MVP of the league. Apparently, the Saints looked very, very good, and I'm actually pretty bought into their defense. I the Cowboys also looked very good, and that Dan Quinn to Mike Zimmer defense had no fall off, and Micah Parsons looks very good. I I gotta take the Cowboys, man. I know 6.5 points is a lot, and the Saints looked really good, but make fun of the Cowboys all you will, crown them the regular season champions, whatever. They absolutely destroyed the Browns. So I'm going to have a hard time rolling against the Cowboys here. I'll take them with 6.5. What about you?
Dave, if there's one thing I know about the Cowboys, it's the word inconsistency. And I will err on the side of that. I do like the Saints to keep it close enough. I like the Cowboys to win, but I like the Saints to cover. All right, we're going to roll with the Bucks and the Lions. Obviously, we talked about this in the Lions segment. Do you like the Lions laying 7 points this weekend, Dave?
I mean, I think the Bucks are consistently a good football team. I think 7 points is a lot for the Lions. I do think that they win, but I think it is a closer one-score game. I know 7 points is a one-score game, but I think it'll be closer than that at the end. Hopefully not an overtime game. I don't think Lions fans can handle that back-to-back weekends. I'll take the Bucks +7, but definitely have the Lions win in this one. What about you?
I'm rolling with you on that one, Dave. I love the 7 points that I get with the Buccaneers. I am much like you. I like the Lions to win anywhere from the range of 1-4. So give me the Bucks on that one. All right, Dave, the Thursday nighter. This is an interesting game. We got Buffalo, the Bills traveling down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Both of them got huge wins in week one, but both of them had to come back. Josh Allen in the second half looked like regular old Josh Allen. And in the second half of the Dolphins game, Tyreek Hill looked like he was Tyreek Hill. So who do you like? Dolphins favored by 2.5.
I don't know what to make of either of these teams. They're kind of similar in a sense, and you're right, Brant. They both did not look good and were behind by a significant chunk of their games. Both of them were. I'm going to take the Bills +2.5. I think that this will be a fun game to watch. Kind of almost envision it being a sloppy game. Like I just can envision some Josh Allen turnovers at inopportune moments, but I think that I'm going to roll, reluctantly with the Bills +2.5 here, even though the game is in Miami. What about you?
Dave, I'm going to go with Miami here. I think that the Buffalo's defense has taken a significant step back. I don't think they're as good as they once were. I think that these receivers should have a great day. It's at home. It's a Thursday night. It's a short week. Josh Allen did get his hand banged up too in that game, so I'm interested to see how that plays out for him. So give me the Dolphins on a short week to cover the 2.5. All right, let's switch into college mode. We talked about Michigan in the Michigan segment, obviously, Dave, but Arkansas State heading up to Ann Arbor. Michigan favored by 23.5. This is a large number.
That means the Michigan Wolverines have to score 24 points, and that seems impossible after watching last weekend. That being said, Brant, I have got to believe deep down, and look, go ahead, follow, subscribe, listen to that Michigan video. I'm not happy. I'm not a believer in this team right now, but I have got to believe somewhere deep down that Sharon Moore is going to get this thing right. I don't know how, I don't know who, but I have no idea why, take Michigan to cover 23.5 points, because I'll tell you what, if they don't cover those points, I'm about ready to pack it in for the season. That's where I'm at with this.
Okay, I am on the opposite side of that. I will take Arkansas State to cover the 23.5 points. Not to mention, this Arkansas State team is 2-0, and they have scored a healthy amount of points in both of their games. This is no slouch, and they will be prepared for it. I do like Michigan to score somewhere in the range of 27 to 34 points, but I like them to score like 13, Arkansas State. So give me Michigan to win, but Arkansas State to cover. Okay, Notre Dame, obviously the embarrassment of the weekend, losing to NIU. Um, Purdue is hosting them this weekend, and they're also getting 9.5 points, coming off one of Marcus Freeman's most embarrassing losses. Dave, can they right the ship, or is Purdue going to cover this number?
I have to believe that Marcus Freeman's seat has never been hotter. This is not the first game in his tenure that they have lost that they certainly should not have. I've got to believe that they bounce back and cover 9.5 points. Otherwise, I mean, a win, no, he's not getting fired. But Brant, I'll tell you what, something crazy happens here. Purdue wins this game. Marcus Freeman may get canned mid-year. I don't know. I think time is ticking in Notre Dame, which is disappointing after their start to the season where Notre Dame fans were very excited and all aboard the Riley Leonard train. People are slowly starting to hop off of that. So I will take Notre Dame to cover 9.5. What about you?
Dave, what's weird to say is what's like one of the top 5 places Big Ten teams don't want to go in the Big Ten? They don't want to go to Purdue. It's like a weird environment. I know it's not a great stadium. It's not great facilities, but they pull the upsets there. And I actually like Purdue in the 9.5 this weekend. I don't know what Riley Leonard is in this offense. It's a mess. He seems to want to run it. They certainly don't like when he throws because he throws it to the other team. So I do like Purdue with the 9.5 this weekend. And then Dave, I had to put the spike game on here for the weekend. Oregon traveling into Oregon State. I talked about this earlier in the season that outside of Michigan and Ohio State, I had this one kind of circled because I don't think there's going to be a team that's more mad at another team than Oregon State being like, you left us behind, bro. What are you doing to us? Everybody that is in Corvallis should be at this game. So 16.5 points for Oregon State.
Lock it up, man. Oregon State plus 16.5. Oregon has looked bad. Surprisingly bad. Yeah, they're 2-0. I wish Michigan was 2-0. They found a way to win, but we talked about the potential for Boise State to do something against Oregon, and they certainly almost did. And in fact, some would argue they should have. I'm not sold that Oregon is not going to be in the 12-team college football playoff, and I'm not willing to overreact on where they're at after 2 games. With that being said, and everything that you named about what's at stake in this game, Oregon State, new head coach, being left behind, all in-state rival, all of that, I'll take Oregon State. That's a lot of points, and it's at Oregon State. What about you?
I love the 16.5 with Oregon State this weekend. Like I already said, this team's going to be madder than hell to play this football game, and they need to be. And you already touched on Oregon a little bit. Boise, frankly, should have beat them last weekend, and they let them off the hook. And so I like Oregon State potentially to pull the upset here, Dave. So give me Oregon State and the points. Here is your lock of the week, Dave. Ole Miss is averaging like 65 points a game, something outrageous. And at their bowl game last year, they put like 40 some points on Penn State. So this offense on Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart, the Prescorn kid at tight end, like they're just so good, so dynamic. And they're going into Wake Forest. Give me I don't care what points they are, 23.5, lock it up. That's your lock of the weekend. Last weekend, Eastern Michigan pulled it out for me against Washington. The lock hit. Lock is 1-0, moving into 2-0 range, dude. Let's go.